Parents forced me to join gym because their golden son was getting married and they wanted me to look presentable for his wedding. 1 year later they now claim that it blew up on their faces because apparently I look better than the groom, so now they want me to go back to my old looks. Growing up, I was always the fat kid. From as far back as I can remember, I was bigger than most of the other kids. In kindergarten, while my classmates were just starting to figure out what made them unique, my size had already singled me out, and as I got older, the weight I carried only grew more noticeable. By the time I was in high school, I was undeniably overweight, and my shape and size became a constant reminder that I was different. College wasn't much different. While some of my peers began to discover who they were or explore new sides of themselves, I remained wrapped in that same identity, overweight and sometimes struggling with it. Being the bigger kid wasn't easy. It opened me up to constant teasing, mockery, and hurtful comments from those who didn't know or didn't care to understand me. Growing up, I was bullied more than I like to remember. Classmates made fun of me relentlessly, their words chipped away at me, leaving deep insecurities and self-doubt that at times felt impossible to shake. They'd call me names and make rude jokes, and I would often be the punchline. I was always singled out, like I was somehow less deserving of kindness or friendship. I was constantly left out of games, parties, and gatherings. It felt like I was always on the outside, watching everyone else experience the normal ups and downs of childhood and adolescence from a distance I couldn't cross. These years of bullying affected how I saw myself and shaped how I responded to the world. I felt out of place with others, and in turn, I took refuge in books. I immersed myself in novels and stories that allowed me to escape the everyday struggles I faced. Books didn't judge me. They didn't look at me with ridicule. I became known as the nerd, and honestly, I didn't mind it nearly as much. Compared to me, my younger brother Brandon was completely the opposite. Just a year younger than me, he was born with this effortless charisma that drew people to him. While I was quieter and more reserved, Brandon thrived in social settings. He had a magnetic personality. He could walk into a room and, within moments, have everyone smiling, laughing, and completely enchanted by him. Brandon didn't just make friends easily, he seemed to have an innate ability to get people on his side, almost like he was the sun that people naturally orbited around. And despite our differences, I adored him. I took my role as his big brother seriously, feeling a fierce protectiveness whenever he needed it. When he started attending the same high school as me, I was thrilled. In the beginning, being Brandon's older brother made me feel proud, like I had a special place in his life. But as he got older, things started to change. As Brandon settled into high school and began to form his own identity. Now you can watch the second part by pressing share and more.